Hey, this is Scott Lehrer with the Non-Commissioned Officers Association. I want to tell you something that maybe you don't know about. March 29th is designated as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Now, we all know about Veterans Day. I think it's in November, right? But March 29th has been designated as National Vietnam War Veterans Day. This special day joins 6 other military annual observances. Like you got Memorial Day, Independence Day, and Veterans Day. The 29th of March is a fitting choice for a day honoring Vietnam veterans. It was chosen to be observed in perpetuity, as March 29th, 1973 was the day United States Military Assistance Command was disestablished, and also the day the last U.S. combat troops departed Vietnam. I attended a Vietnam veterans ceremony in Jacksonville yesterday. It was out at our National Cemetery here in Jacksonville. And it was the first time I actually visited the National Cemetery. And it was a very solemn experience for me because, you drive up there and you look, and it's a beautiful area, very lush, very green. There's a lot of monuments throughout the cemetery honoring the Vietnam veterans. But I didn't know that over 23,000 souls have been buried there at the National Cemetery here in Jacksonville. And when you drive through, it just kind of catches your breath. And I want to thank our elected officials and all those who were responsible for getting a national cemetery here in Jacksonville. But attending the ceremony, a lot of Vietnam veterans came. There were several guest speakers. They had a flyover. It was like 4 prop job planes flew over. And it was a very deep ceremony to honor the Vietnam veterans. So what does the Non-Commissioned Officers Association do for Vietnam veterans? We have our Vietnam Veteran Medallion. And so if you have a loved one that went to Vietnam, served in Vietnam, just go to ncousa.org, ncousa.org, and you can purchase a medallion. Portions of the proceeds go to the scholarship fund for NCOA. But more importantly, I'm 64 years old. I don't remember a whole lot about Vietnam, but I've read a lot of stories about it. And of course, being a Navy veteran, but these men and women did not come back with honor. They, from what I understand, society didn't recognize them, and they were, I'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm trying to say. And it is so good now that our nation has kind of turned the page on that. They realize what happened, but they are now honoring the Vietnam veterans. And so I think that's a very important thing. Can you imagine being 18, 19, 20 years old and serving in a war, that your government has, done, and then coming back and not being honored? And maybe not so much even being honored, but being welcomed home. So that's why I think this Vietnam War Memorial Day is so important for the veterans who are still living, and of course the family members who've had veterans serve and who died or are missing in action in Vietnam. I think there's still like over 1,000 Vietnam veterans missing in action, and they mentioned that at the ceremony I went to the other day. But being a veteran is special. When I was 18, I raised my hand and went into the Navy. And so many other men and women raised their hands, and instead of pursuing a college degree or instead of, family business or whatever, they chose to serve. And so during this Vietnam Veteran Memorial Weekend, actually it is, let's honor our Vietnam veterans. And if you are a non-commissioned officer, a veteran, active duty, a family member of a non-commissioned officer, I urge you, go right now to ncousa.org. Check us out. You'll see all the member benefits. And then if you want to, you can purchase a World War II medallion, a Korean War medallion, a Vietnam War medallion to give to a service member. And if you're a company that promotes veteran issues, I urge you, buy 10, buy 20, buy 1,000 of these medallions, and we will distribute them, and of course mention your company when we do that. But So many of our leaders, our president of NCOA, our executive director, are out there at different bases, different events, presenting these medallions that have been sponsored by companies or by people. So check it out, ncoausa.org. If you have any questions, email me directly, slara@ncoausa.org. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a great weekend. Scott Lara, Non-Commissioned Officers Association.